But Cedar Point was in the game to stay. Now, they would attempt to blast their way back into the record books by building the first 400-foot strata coaster. As if that weren't enough, they took aim at shattering the speed record at 120 miles per hour. But to pull it off, they would have to seriously challenge the laws of gravity. The roller coaster wars were about to enter the launch zone. In the last 4 years, rocket coasters have blasted into the record books, launching you out of the starting gate to heights and speeds that leave conventional coasters in the dust. The idea of launching humans is nothing new. We've been at it for about as long as we've been riding roller coasters. There is something magical about the idea of instant flight. But the engineering alchemy of blasting people to extreme heights has been difficult to perfect. But our recklessness eventually won out. Ever since the first manned rockets succeeded in putting humans into outer space, the launch has been our ultimate weapon in our battle to overcome gravity. It was just a matter of time before the science of roller coasters and launch technology converged. In the spring of 2003, Cedar Point Amusement Park unleashed their new rocket coaster, Top Thrill Dragster. Launch coasters, like Top Thrill Dragster, redefine the essence of what a roller coaster is. Instead of a slow ride up the lift hill to the first drop, they launch you up and over a 420-foot tower, crushing the old height record by 100 feet. One moment you're strapping into your seat, the next, hurtling down the track, cheeks flapping, eyeballs rattling, every muscle in your body saturated with adrenaline. It's not everybody's idea of a good time. But for coaster fanatics looking for the next big fix, the launch is instant gratification. The record-breaking acceleration, 0 to 120 miles per hour in about 4 seconds, is ridiculously quick. It's like a rocket sled, except you can ride it wearing flip-flops.
I was out in the launch position. I was terrified. I didn't know if I was going to go through with it. The launch cut loose. I dropped back into the seat and felt the acceleration, and it was just unbelievable, fantastic.
On paper, the engineering breakthrough behind Top Thrill Dragster's launch catapult looks pretty simple. At the starting line, the passenger train hitches up to a cable-driven shuttle. When you launch, the cable pulls the train down the track. At top speed, the train releases from the shuttle, catapulting you up the tower. It's like a giant slingshot. To generate that kind of acceleration, the cable pulling the train has to wind around a huge 12-ton drum extremely fast. It's like a winch on steroids. Powering the drum is a huge 10,000 horsepower motor, the equivalent of 10 Formula One race cars. It may sound simple, but in reality, it's an engineering nightmare. First of all, cables are great for pulling trains up a lift hill at 15 miles per hour, but catapulting trains at 120 miles per hour is a whole new ballgame. Even slight changes in the weather affect air resistance and track friction, altering the launch velocity needed to get up and over the tower. Sometimes what happens is you get launched with too little power, and you experience the launch in reverse.
Oh, it's quite normal for the ride not to make the tower. That happens frequently, usually in the morning, sometimes when there's a weather change. The ride basically uses the data from the last launch to calculate how much force it's going to throw the next train at. And if there's some sudden change, like the wind changes direction or it increases speed, sometimes something as simple as the sun going behind the cloud can cause a rollback.
Mechanical problems with the whole cable launch system are chronic. Friction and stress loads are intense, causing the cable to fray or go slack. The system also has thousands of parts that can wear down. Since it's been built, Cedar Point's Superstar coaster has repeatedly broken down.
We haven't really tackled the reliability issue yet. This ride has to deliver day in and day out for many seasons, all right, to get me to the point where I'd want to go higher with this type of technology.
Have rocket coasters maxed out? Is this the end of the coaster wars? Or is there a better way to launch roller coasters to even greater speeds?